Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
And we have liftoff. Good morning. This is Newsline, live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And our guest this morning, it's a wet morning, so paradise is a little bit cloudy this morning, but it'll probably clear up later on. And this morning, our guest is Mr. Chandima Virakode, MP. Very good morning to you.
Good morning, Faraz.
And thank you very much for taking time off to come here. First of all, the House calls for the arrest of the DIG. Police sniper gun goes missing. So writes someone injured in the island this morning. Why is this? Why is there a lopsided thing? If somebody is a suspect in this, and if he's a serving government officer, the usual form is to have him interdicted.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that as members of parliament, all 225 of us, irrespective of party politics, voted in favor of this amendment to create independent commissions. Now the police department is supposedly under an independent commission. People expected, allegations earlier was that the police department can be manipulated by the politicians and by the government. So the civil society, people at large, members of parliament, everyone raised an opinion to create an independent judiciary and an independent police department. So it is now the duty and the responsibility of the independent commissions to establish in the minds of the people that there is justice that is seen to be delivered. Now, that's why I said, as a member of parliament, I feel very unfortunate.
Now, Mr. Virakode, my problem is this. We hear, the whole country hears what you say about the police commission, independent police commission. But what's the point of having this police commission or any other commission when in this instance, the police commission, it appears that the IGP is not listening to the police commission?
Absolutely. Now, look at my argument.
Why is that? Doesn't he have a point? Is he trying to make a point?
I mean, obviously, when there is an allegation, especially this is a serious allegation. When there is an allegation, of course, though, I mean, over news we hear the telephone conversation between the DIG and some other person, where he says that the president and the former defense secretary. Former defense secretary is also a person who has contributed immensely for regaining peace in this country.
Well, he's made a contribution.
So when there is an allegation against even an ordinary person, when there is evidence, when there is, like, in the eyes of the general public, there is evidence. When they hear a telephone conversation. So it is up to the law enforcing authorities to act independently and also act in such way that people feel that it appears to be independent. That is what Lord Denning said. Not only that the justice must take place, but that it must be seen to be taking place.
And so, what do you think will happen? Instead, what we have been met with is that this officer concerned, or the subject, or who should be the subject of inquiry, has been transferred to some other department.
It's there also now. Today I was listening to news. I was talking to people yesterday. I was in Gaul at funerals, meeting people. But this is the opinion of the ordinary villager. They said this guy, the DIG, has been transferred to the information division. Where, according to the people, they say, that's the place where telephone conversations are tested, monitored, tested, verified as to whether it's that voice. So they say this is a situation where,
Yeah.
in Sri Lankan colloquial term,
Yeah.
Baduthamdurunge, Naduthamdurunge.
Right.
So we have now come to a situation,
Yes.
though we call it formally
Yeah.
to the international community,
Yeah.
to the others, whoever, that we have independent commissions.
Yeah.
But the real law that
Ignores all that.
ignores, not only that, the real culture
Yeah.
that is being created here is Naduthamdurunge, Baduthamdurunge culture,
Yeah.
which has been the case thousands of years ago, but yet in Sri Lanka, if you may look into our history,
Yeah.
there were forums where the cases were heard by the people appointed, by the independent people appointed by the judges, open forums.
Right.
But where are we heading for? Where are we heading towards as a country
Yeah.
which reached their people expected democracy
Yeah.
in 2015?
Right. Where are we headed? That's a good question, because I was going to ask you that. Will the tranquility that this country is facing now, I mean, we have economic challenges and so on, and other challenges like we've just spoken about, but where are we headed?
Now, that's the issue. Now, in certain countries, of course, there are situations where countries are faced with economic challenges.
Yeah.
There had been collapses in their economy.
Yeah.
There had been collapses in their cultural issues. There had been collapses in law and order.
Yeah.
But in this situation, it's now everyone's talking about collapsing of law and order.
Yeah.
There's been now everyone is talking about rampant corruption.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking about the situation financially and economically that this country is faced with.
Yeah.
So I don't see this country having been in a situation like this ever in our history. So it is time for people to think for a change.
Time to think for a change. That's actually a noble cause. But in actual fact, though, the people are being faced with the political parties in this country putting forth, spewing forth, every time there's an election of any nature, they put out the same old people.
Absolutely.
It's from the same pot. There's no apparent commitment on the part of the political establishment from whichever, red, blue, green, yellow, whatever, of making a change, because they nominate the same people again and again and again. And that's not fair on the people.
You are absolutely correct. Yesterday, once again, I was at a funeral with talking to some people who are political.
Funerals are good places, aren't they, to
discuss.
Yeah.
Everyone at any gathering, at any type of gathering, whether it's at a 5-star, whether it's at a funeral in a remote village, people talk about what's happening to this country.
Yeah.
So the ordinary villagers,
Yeah.
they were, almost everyone there was of the opinion that we must be very careful when selecting people to be elected to parliament.
Yeah.
That was not what came out of me. So, but at the same time, when it comes towards an election, people go blind sometimes. So
Indeed.
it is up to the media, the civil society, to those who are enthusiastic about politics, those who love the country, now to seek from the politicians, the political parties, for their policies, to get a commitment as to what they are planning to implement if there is a change. Otherwise, it's going to be now, in 2015 there was a change.
Yeah.
All unexpected people waited for a change as it appeared by the election results.
Yeah.
But people didn't know. They thought, okay, they are against corruption, they are for freedom, they are for the transparency, they are for good governance.
Yeah.
But
They're for an equitable playing field.
but we don't see that.
Yeah.
People thought there'll be FDIs coming into the country.
Yeah.
foreign investors will have confidence,
Yeah.
but nothing
Yeah.
has this government been able to achieve to satisfy people. So therefore, I don't want, as a citizen of this country, this situation to be repeated after next change.
Maybe this message from a viewer will put it all into perspective. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, that on Newsline it's live and you can send us your questions by SMS 0772 300 305. Our control room may well play that card now. 0772 300 305. Please send it by SMS, your questions, and we'll take it up. And we are in conversation with Mr. Chandima Virakode, MP. And the question I'm going to take up is this. It's all useless and futile. Nothing works in this country. No point in quoting what other countries do. Change will never come. It may ultimately lead to revolution. Now, this is from a member of the public.
Absolutely. I don't find fault with him. That's the thinking of general public now, because they're helpless.
Yeah.
I mean, in this country, people want an election for a change.
Yeah.
People want a change seriously at any level, whether you're the richest in this country or the poorest in this country.
Yeah.
People want to change. But it doesn't appear to be getting an opportunity. So invariably, people are disgusted, people are frustrated, people are in a state of confused mind.
You've been, Mr. Chandima Virakode, you've been in both places. You've been there before.
Yes.
And you were here this time round. How do you compare the previous and the present?
The governments.
Yeah.
Well, the previous government, there was a vision, there was a plan.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, due to certain misconducts
Yeah.
of certain people, we had to face defeat. But at the same time, like today, just last week, yesterday we returned from, day before we returned from China on a parliamentary visit with a parliamentary delegation.
Yeah.
There the GDP growth is 6.9 in China, whereas in Sri Lanka it's now even less than 3%. There was a time that we were talking about, we were like proudly stating that we have achieved 6.9 GDP growth during the last government.
Yeah.
We saw suddenly Colombo changing, cities changing,
Yeah.
roads being developed, ports, airports being built. So there was
Yeah,
deep development.
but you know, I don't want to let you go on too much because you're getting a little bit carried away, aren't you? Because in the last government, they've not just been little good boys and girls, have they? They've had their fair troubles. I take the point about the massive spend on infrastructure development, but it was accompanied by massive corruption.
Yeah.
And a perception of massive corruption. And Chandima Virakode, we mustn't forget that there was a wholesale disregard of the people's fundamental rights.
Yeah.
And there are no, I mean, Mahinda Rajapaksa, what happened under him was absolutely unforgivable. He was able to destroy the terrorism problem, which is good. But thereafter, he lay on his laurels and he didn't do anything in terms of, he won the war, but he didn't do much for peace.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
What did he do to the people of the North? These people, since 2009, we're in 2018, they still don't have housing. He had 6 years before he was voted out to sort something out there, but nothing was done.
Yeah, let me explain.
Yeah.
Like it was, as I said, it was not due to his conduct, but certain elements around him during the
But he's
last,
the president.
Yeah, during the last few years, did some mishandling. So that is why people rejected him. That is why people rejected our government. And also the fact that certainly had there been corruption.
Yeah.
This, I mean, we all of us voted to set up independent commissions. And what have they done to date?
Yeah, but the point, I agree.
What have they done? And they talked about corruption and came into power.
Yeah.
What did they do?
What they're doing is they've clearly entered into some form of arrangement with the previous regime, because there's only talk. Mangala Samaravira, fashion designer turned finance minister, said that the Rajapaksas have misappropriated 18 billion. That's with a B, billion US dollars.
Yeah.
Right?
So
and what have they done? They've not done anything about it. We have information that some money went up, 20 plus $million ended up in Hong Kong. Right? So the FCID chief goes there, he comes back, the president is told, the prime minister is most probably told, but there is no progress thereafter. Right? We found that the former president's son in the early days was given permission to go to Dubai. For what? That's the place where these people say that the money is.
Yeah, for us, now these are like fairy tales. Like, you know, you and I can talk. Like I said, at a dinner table or at a funeral house, people can talk. But there are authorities, there is police, and they set up a politically biased committee called FCID.
Yes.
So there is, I mean, they have got the machinery, they have got the expertise, they have got the infrastructure. It is up to them to prove. So people can talk. Now, people have been talking about.
But these are not fairy tales, Chandra.
Yeah.
We know that it happened.
No, if we know.
Can Mr. Rajapaksa, hand on his heart, stand in front of the people and say, I can account for every asset that I have legitimately? He can't.
No, but
because I'll tell you what, the other day, I saw a clip of him.
Yeah.
He was wearing a fairly expensive watch.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, that watch is not $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. It's more than that. In Thailand, the deputy prime minister of Thailand, he was doing this and they captured the photograph of his watch. He did that, they captured the ring. The Thai media immediately launched an investigation. He's in serious trouble. But at least there's something happening. Over here, they can't even do that. What about Namal Rajapaksa? He wears watches that are, these are, I'm only picking small points.
Okay, now let me answer. Now, this can come to personal slandering also. Like, people
There's no personal slander. Tell Namal Rajapaksa, tell Mahinda Rajapaksa to come and stand in Gorefest and say to tell the public he can account for each and every cent he's got.
He has said it at the same time. There are now, you can always get a gift.
When you are a president, you must declare those gifts and you must.
Where does it say in this country? Gift now. For instance, now for your birthday and my birthday, don't we get gifts?
Of course we do.
So just by looking at one,
not one. If
one wristwatch or a telephone or whatever, I mean, you can now, especially when you are in public life, people tend to give you gifts. Not, I mean, if you have to link it up to some activity, like if you had you accepted that gift to change your decision.
Well, it's like Chandrika. When Victor Ivan wrote in his book, right, Bandit Queen, when he wrote about her Patek Philippe, which is a watch, right, she's never ever come and challenged that.
No, sir, I mean, Mahinda Rajapaksa, to tell you,
is no different.
Mahinda Rajapaksa, to tell you, is a celebrity in this country. Mahinda Rajapaksa, irrespective of politics.
So people come and leave him gems with his mother-in-law.
Not
bags of gems.
Not leaving gems with the mother-in-law, but him getting a wristwatch or him getting a gift. There are now, look at the celebrities. Don't people give now? You go to a soothsayer. Listen to me in Sri Lanka.
You were the Minister of Petroleum.
Let me.
If one of the people involved in bunkering turns up at your office and gives you a watch
Yeah.
as a gift, I think you're a good man, gentlemen. I don't think you're going to say, oh, okay, thank you very much, and put it on.
Yeah.
I think you're going to cringe a bit and say, listen, you know, I don't think it's
Yeah.
right.
No.
That's the kind of leader that we see in you.
Yeah.
But I don't know that you're going to just say, oh, thank you very much, and put it on.
No, now it's all like that. Now in Sri Lanka, we have seen, now you go to a soothsayer when he says something. You go to a priest, a monk when he preaches.
Yeah.
People used to, you know, take their bracelets off and throw.
Indeed.
Have you seen? So likewise,
I can see every
that's-
time I come into work at the
Yeah.
Gangarama.
Yeah.
I can
I
see what's happened there.
But yeah,
But
so likewise,
unfortunately,
just
Pudi Andrew is not a politician.
No,
He's
whether,
not been
no,
elected
whether
by
you're
the
whether you're a
public.
politician
He's
or not,
venerated by
whether
the
you're a
public.
politician or not, there can be now. Those long years ago, even now, when we come for elections, when people contested, the story is that the people donated the car.
True.
People garlanded you with money.
Point taken. Now,
That's
I want
likewise.
I
Likewise,
take your
I
point.
mean,
Yes.
my argument is, okay, there you get independent commissions,
True, and
independent
they
police,
should
they
get-
should take
they
action
sh- they should
without
take-
slandering people, without talking about people, without referring to the watch that they are wearing.
No, but they didn't. I just mentioned.
Yeah.
it, right?
So
It's
without
an
referring
observation
to
of mine.
those,
Yeah.
first of all, there is law and order in this country. People
But there is
people
complete
expect that-
economic mismanagement of
Yeah.
this country, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because, Chanima, let me play this little clip from yesterday. It tells you all about the mismanagement of our economy in one card.
Yeah.
It is our sad duty to report that the exchange rate has further depreciated. As of today, the rate is 166.64 to the dollar. And
Yeah.
that is the state of our economy.
Yeah, so now look at the economy.
Yeah.
When it was handed over in 2015, dollar was 132.
Yeah.
Now it's 164.
Yeah.
Look at the prices of tea.
Yeah.
The tea prices
Yeah.
have like with this dollar fluctuation.
Yes.
Still, we are not in a position to get the price that we got during those days.
Yeah.
So, what is happening to this country? At least exports should benefit. Are we being benefited?
Yeah.
No. What's happening to imports? Now the sugar prices have gone up by 12 rupees yesterday.
Yeah.
And the gas prices have gone up by 138 rupees.
Yeah.
So how can people in this country, how can ordinary people in this country live? We
Yeah.
talk about,
Yeah.
okay, this was done in during that government, this one is wearing this watch, but nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. What is happening now? Why can't they take action? They are now law enforcing officers.
Yeah.
They say IGP's got a check in his name for 12 million from Trinity College some fund.
That's in some paper this morning in
Yeah.
Lanka, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, I was shocked. What is happening? In his own name, I mean, he should come forward and say, of course, it could be for some legitimate purpose.
It is as shocking as the central bank bond.
So he can always come forward and say, this is for which I was issued this check.
Yeah.
Or this is a fake.
Yeah.
So we must, what we lack now, what do we lack? People have lost confidence in government. People have lost trust in the system.
Indeed.
So when there is a loss of confidence and trust
But now,
in the government and
now,
system.
Johnny Miracle, just as we are ending, in the last 2-3 minutes, just as we are ending, people have lost confidence in all sorts of things, in politicians and all that. But nowadays, there's something else going on. Because we are told that Sri Lanka cricket will have to be managed by the Disaster Management Ministry, not by the Sports Ministry. Because that's another disaster. For heaven's sake, we've lost to Afghanistan.
Yeah, that's what I said, that I couldn't tell you now. If you take culturally, now what are we talking
Even
about?
our sports affect.
Yeah, we are talking about now top priority is gay marriages.
Right.
Look at our economy. No investments are coming in.
Yeah.
Everyone's concerned about making their buck.
Yes.
Look at the law and order. It's
In the shambles.
in shambles.
Yeah.
Now sports. Of course, netball team did well. So now the stories whether the netball players are going to be chosen for the cricket team.
Well,
So-
that's a thought.
Yeah. So anyway, every sector in this country is mishandled. Every sector is collapsing. I mean, this is our country.
Will you make a
We
bid
are-
for the leadership of the SLFP?
We are trying to reunite SLFP.
What
The-
about you? Why should it be Namal? Why
No.
should it be GR?
No, no,
Why can't it be Chandima Veerakodi?
No.
Why can't it be, well, Dinesh is not part of that team, but, you know.
No, we are not individually, personally interested in our political well-being. What we want is the best person acceptable to the country to be to come forward as the candidate. We are not.
What
for
about you? Would you like to be the candidate?
No, it's, I mean, if that is the expectation of the people, but
Yeah.
we have, as of now,
When you go to these funeral houses, you go to all these places where people discuss.
Yeah.
What do they think about you making a bid?
no, it's like this. Now, as of now, I must tell you, the single most popular person in this country
Is you?
is Mahinda Rajapaksa. People expect
That's what
at
you-
every level. I mean, we must.
No, but what about
as
you,
as a democratic country.
But he can't come. The rules don't.
No,
You know,
it-
but
it-
President Obama said this, didn't he? At the OAU, he said, "Look, the law's the law." He said, "After 2 terms, I feel I'm still a young man. I think I can win. But the law's the law. I can't do it."
Yeah, but in Sri Lankan law,
Yeah.
there is if you look at the laws,
It's
there
fairly
is-
clear. The Sri
it's-
Lankan
it's-
law since the 78 constitution, the law, the intent has been clear.
No, it's not clear.
The
Now
intent
look
has
at the.
always been clear
No.
that it was a 2-term limit,
No,
which
that-
is why they had to bring the 18th Amendment.
No, it's not, because now the presidency under 78 constitution is different to that of the presidency of the present president. And the
What do you
president's
think about what do you
presidency
think- what
under
do you think
72
about- what do
is
you-
also different.
What do you think if we just go for a complete change?
Yeah.
Don't you think the people are quite fed up with the present system? And they want change, real change.
No, they want change, but we must look at the person in whom people have trust. Because
That's the quest. Sorry,
in
we've
Sri
run
Lanka,
out, we've run
in
out of
Sri
time.
Lanka, we are in Sri Lanka. We are not in a, like, if you and I can, if we
Sure.
think like that, we'll also begin to think like our Prime Minister. We must, as politicians.
Gosh, no, that will be the worst
Yeah.
fate ever.
Yeah, so
if
this is-
anyone starts thinking like him.
So
But
that's his kind of thinking.
Chandima
So we-
Veerakodi,
as of now,
we've come to the
the
end
most
of,
popular.
We've come to the end of our program. Thank you very much, and it's been very enjoyable talking to you.
Yes,
thank you. And that's the way it was on Newsline today. Remember that today, the 19th of September 2018. Remember that tomorrow we're not on in the morning, we're on in the evening at 8 p.m. on TV1 and live on Facebook, and a little bit after that on YouTube. So do tune in tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. where we hope to bring all the issues out that matter to you. Well, as many as we can anyway. So on that note, do take care and God bless.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.